Solo shows are nothing new, especially if you're already famous. But how about a technologist turned comedian whose name very few people recognize? It's a piece of cake for James Judd, who is performing his show 7 Sins to sold-out crowds in San Francisco. In this clip from the show, James describes a book report on Patty Hearst that he gave in grade school.
I'm hopped up on adrenaline and Kool-Aid, so I just jump right in. I say, how many people here have ever been kidnapped? Nobody raises their hands. So I say, how many people here have ever been locked in a closet? Yeah, a couple of people raise their hands. So I ask, for a month? And the hands go down.
James Judd joining me this morning. Good morning. Thanks for coming by. It looks like fun.
Thank you. Yeah, it's terrific.
I guess I wanted to start with your past jobs, a technologist. What exactly is that? What do you do when you're a technologist?
Well, I was a technology writer. I'm also a criminal defense attorney. I'm a winemaker. I've been a dishwasher. I've worked corporate jobs. I've done it all.
You certainly have. So then how do you go from those things to comedy?
Well, I figured it was time for those, crazy jobs and all my crazy, embarrassing stories to pay off for me. So I put the stories together in a show and I, hit the road.
All right, so give me a little synopsis. We got kind of a taste, but basically what do you do in the show?
Well, it's true, funny stories from my life. Very fast, funny, short stories, all of them based around the 7 deadly sins.
And what are the 7 deadly sins, if you can repeat them on television?
Envy, greed, gluttony, wrath, pride, sloth, and lust.
And you can fit the stories from your own life. Well, we could probably all do it if we thought about it.
Absolutely. It's something you can do at home. As soon as you leave the theater, you can go back home and you can create your own one-person show.
And maybe if we're not very good yet, we could be a warm-up act of yours.
Absolutely. I love it.
So what does your family think about this turn to comedy? Again, you mentioned a lot of the different careers you had, so now you say, you know what? Never mind all of that. I'm going on stage.
They're horrified, but,
well,
what can they do?
Especially if they're part of the subject matter. Do they?
Absolutely.
Do you include your family in it?
Oh, yeah. When my parents met, my father was a missionary from Utah. My mother was a cocktail waitress in Las Vegas.
How did that happen? See, there's a comedy right there.
Absolutely. I mean, everybody's life is funny. I just took mine and I stuck it up on stage, and I'm just grateful people are showing up to see it.
So your shows have been selling out. What do you think in particular makes it so popular? Is it that your stories are so unusual? Is it the delivery? What is it that makes your stories stand out and people love to hear them?
Well, they're funny. It's funny, it's fast, it's upbeat, it's very short. It's only an hour long. When the audience leaves, they're revved up, they're energetic. And I think a lot of people can relate to a lot of things that I'm talking about. My struggles to be successful and try to have different careers and change your life. I mean, changing your life is all the rage these days. So I think people are inspired by it a little bit, too.
Well, so now does the story change? I mean, does your routine change at all? I mean, do you have enough stories to last for a while, or are you going to have to quit comedy, go take up some new careers to get some new stories to come back to comedy?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking zoology is next, perhaps geology. I might become a doctor. Who knows?
Or maybe anchorology, and you could come down here to NBC 11. There are all kinds of funny stories down here.
Absolutely. We can switch places.
So what's in your future? Where do you go from here? Do you want to continue to do the comedy thing? Do you want to do the solo show? Do you want to, is HBO going to come after you? What do you want to do?
Yeah, HBO's been there to look at the show, and from here it goes off Broadway in New York, and then it goes to the Edinburgh Festival in Scotland later this summer, and that's kind of a big deal. I think I'm sharing a venue with Joan Rivers.
Oh, well, that's because she does a pretty good solo show in her own right.
I know, but you can't look her in the eye backstage. That's the rule.
Well, you can't look at Laura in the eye either, but a lot of people don't know that.
I know, I've heard. I wasn't going to bring it up.
All right. Thanks, James, for coming by. We appreciate it. Always fun.
Thank you.
Good luck to you, too.
I appreciate it.
By the way, you can catch James Judd in 7 Sins playing at Theater Rhinoceros in San Francisco until May 17th. We have a link for ticket information on NBC11.com. You just have to look under featured links.
Did you just look at me?
No, I didn't. Where? I don't see anything.
That's like Medusa.
Yeah.
U.S. officials consider a new tactic to get help to the people.